I'm going to make it up as I'm going along. It will never, ever change. But for making it up, as you go along, we collectively, as you saw, haven't done that badly in 3 years that we've been doing this. So, as you saw, we started with 24 products. We have 1,000 products now, and we manufacture our own as well. So, collectively, doing little by little, sometimes not even knowing what we're doing, but just always turning up, you can change things. You can ruffle feathers, which of course is one of my favorite pastimes. Ruffle as many feathers as you possibly can along the way. And I'm telling you, a benchmark of success is the more feathers you ruffle, the greater success you have. I'll tell you something, I've never known so many feathers that you could ruffle. And we will continue to do so. And I think that's something that this business, you saw the words there, independent, unique, we will always be partners. These three things that I've always wanted to incorporate into the business were the things that I never found in previous businesses or other organizations. We will always be unique because we work together. Almost every one of those 100 manufactured products that we today create ourselves have come from you. They were all your ideas. No other company can do that. It's just as well they were your ideas, because I didn't have any ideas. So it works very, very well. Independent. Of course you're independent. We don't have a board of members board that make unnecessary decisions. We don't have councils that tell us what to do. We don't even have accountants. They all got fired. Because we don't need people like, oh, we need one accountant. We don't need people who aren't qualified to understand the business telling us what to do. This has been a huge downfall of so many organizations, that lawyers and accountants tell the people what to do. Well, let me tell you, we're independent. We tell the accountants and the lawyers what to do. So every now and again, the lawyer tells me what to do, but that's a different story. So we tell them, that's why we're independent, and no other company can work like that. In all the organizations I've ever worked in before, accountants ran the organization. When accountants, and with all due respect to Mike Burney, who is actually an accountant, but it's always great taking the mickey out of him. With all due respect to accountants, when they run an organization, they make it so dull, They make it so annoyingly dull, because they don't want to take risks. Business will always be about taking risks. And the greater risks you take, the more feathers you ruffle, the greater your business becomes. And we take risks every single day. And my entire life is a huge risk. I took a risk walking up here because I normally trip up. Everything we do is about taking risks, keeping the accountants out the way, except Michael, who's a lovely accountant, and the lawyers at bay. That's what makes us unique, independent, and most importantly, a partnership. See, that is something in my business and corporate career everybody talks about. Because it's a lovely word to use, partnership. What a beautiful word. But nobody actually exercised it. They didn't have the true meaning of partnership. Well, I'd like to think we're gradually getting there, a true partnership. For all the things we collaborate on, partnerships are about collaboration. Partnerships are about being wanted. Partnerships are about feeling valued. And I'd like to think that as each year goes by, we continue to incorporate those values into our business. So, a few years ago, I realized, you can't do everything alone. I tried, it just doesn't work. So, as well as the great partners we have in the organization, you have to get a team together that have the passion, that really have the purpose, You get that team together, and then you invite Lloyd as well. It works really well. Please welcome the wonderful HQ team and give them the recognition that they truly deserve. I remember years and years and years ago, we were almost forbidden to recognize the people who worked at the company. We were always forbidden to do that. That's why, if you go back years and years and years, you never ever saw recognition for the people who were at HQ. Now, I've always felt that was very, very wrong. But even better still, they hate being up here, so I really even more. So, you know, they are the backbone of everything that we do. We keep the team with passion and purpose, and they follow the vision that we have for the business. They know how we want to grow. We've got plans into 2024 already, and that's down to this group of people and the few that couldn't make it. But collectively, it's all about passion and purpose, and without them, I mean, I couldn't do anything. I just hang on to their coattails, as I've told you before. I just turn up, and they do all the work. Every time I try, I bugger it up. As you pretend to me, I think Joanne Lamb received a tape gun a few months ago in her parcel. I spent the whole day looking for that tape gun. So it's part of our team, and they do it with passion and purpose. And I just want to thank them, because it's their coattails that I hang on to, and they are the machine behind everything you and I collectively do. Thank you, team. Great partnerships we have in the room today. VivaMK Printing, of course, they supply all your printing needs. And I'll say this again, his name isn't Barney, it is Dave. I know he likes to be known as Barney, I have no idea why. Dave, are you here? No, Dave's bugging off. Oh no, that's it. Hello, Dave. It is Dave, isn't it? Dave and Pauline do an incredible job with VivaMK Printing, so please take a look what they have. Then, of course, Knowledge is King, and Barry is here for Knowledge is King. Now, these two partnerships go back 2 decades of supporting us. So, you know, they're valuable partnerships. And one of the things I've learned is, if a partnership works well, keep on using them, keep on working with them, because that's how partnerships work. As long as we have these events, as long as we get together, people like this are always going to be by our side. So thank you, Pauline and Dave and Barney, and thank you, of course, Barry as well. Talking of Barry, he's got these fantastic 2 books on offer today. Now, I have, believe it or not, read these books. Don't test me on it later, but I have read these books. And if you want to buy them, you should buy them, because Barry's got them on offer. Be the top 1% in network marketing. It really is a simple guide if you just want to pick up on the basics of the business and self-sabotage and go more. Again, it's, I'm quickly reading what it says up there so I can tell you what it's about. I have read it. It's a fantastic book to help you move forward and just break through the clutter that we all seem to be drowning in at the moment. So very, very worthwhile if you want to get those books. So, every business has key indicators, you know, things that you gauge the business, that you try to aspire to, things that really are the everyday things that help your business grow. I don't have loads and loads of key indicators. You've heard me say this before, and I will say it again. I know many businesses have key indicators of expansion, or they talk about, oh, we're so big, and we all know size clearly isn't everything. They talk about their size, they talk about their expansion, they talk about having a million products. It'd be nice if they had to be stocked every now and again, but they talk about those kind of indicators. As you know, I only have 2 indicators that I feel if we just turn up every day, make sure the 2 indicators are satisfied, we'll keep on building the business. And my indicators, as you already know, are fulfillment and service. If we can get these 2 right every single day in our own little way, we will continue to grow, we will continue to expand, and I'll tell you something, we will continue to ruffle feathers. And I'll tell you why. fulfillment is so important. We've all been part of businesses, and some of you are in certain businesses now, where you put your order in, and sometimes half of it isn't available. Sometimes a quarter of it isn't available. Sometimes 20% isn't available. Well, fulfillment in our industry is so bloody important that you have to try and fulfill most of the order. Now, when you put your orders in with us, if there's something missing, it's not because we've buggered up. It's usually because we've wiped out the supply. And I'll talk about that a little bit later when it comes to blanket hoodies that we've been doing very well with lately. Fulfillment is so important. The whole of 2022, we aspired to keep it at 96% or above, and we reached that number. So for the whole of the year, unless you just put your order on a very, very unlucky day, most of your order will be available most of the time. Now, I don't compare us to other businesses. It's impossible, you can't. But the one thing I will always compare is what other people's fulfillment rates are, just so I can be smug. That's the only reason. Now, some businesses think it's okay to a 75% fulfillment rate. That's diabolical. That means a quarter of your order is unlikely to be available when you put it in. And they thrive on that. Some of us wouldn't even show up if there's only 75%. So, for me, a key indicator will always be fulfillment. It has to be. So, talking of our stock, what we currently have in our warehouse, 89% of it we own outright. So, with no debt, we actually own it, bought outright. The rest of the 11% we pay for every 30 days. So, every 30 days, we own everything, and then another 10% comes in that we pay for in 30 days. And that's one of the reasons you generally get the fulfillment that you're after, because we own everything. We own all of our stock. And that's really important, but again, I've been in businesses where we didn't own the stock. We owned 20% of it, which meant 80% was constantly in debt. And it's a very difficult way to run a business with 80% debt. So, we own most of our stock. Now, service. Other than towards the end of last year, when DPD and Every really did totally fall apart, generally, I'd like to think that we could still improve on our service delivery. Now, I know that any order we get by 1 o'clock, you have next working day. And that's something I've always wanted to achieve in our organization. If I have my way, you get it the same day. But I can't quite manage that at the moment. So service is really important. But service isn't just your parcel turning up. Service is also trying to make sure that it's packed in a way that is satisfactory. I know there are times there's spillages and things happen. You know, when something leaves the warehouse, it is quality checked for the way it's put together. If you get it at your house, it may have been tumbled 16 times and kicked around the block. And that's the part we find difficult to control. And you might get the box battered. It doesn't leave battered. Absolutely not. The staff would get battered if it left battered. It doesn't work like that. So fulfillment and service. The service still doesn't stop there. Service is also trying to answer your queries as fast as we possibly can. Somebody is telling me that they're waiting 2 weeks to find out a query in another business. So I'd like to think you get the answers, if we have them, as fast as you possibly can. You see what I mean about doing little things and just turning up? Because you can't compete with the bigger world. But what you can do is get these things right. We're a service-driven industry. So if you get your service right, compared to other people, you're always going to be ruffling somebody's feathers, and that's the best part of what we do. So keep the service fulfillment. So I'd like to think you get your questions answered. They may not always be the right answer, especially if you're coming to me with them. Normally the wrong answer, but you'll still get an answer. So fulfillment and service are the only two indicators that I care about, and we'll continue to build upon those in 2023. So, Like I've already said, my goal was to finish 2022 with 100 of our own branded products. We have these manufactured ourselves. We, again, own all of them. So we own all the rights to them, and we own all the products. And anything you see with a VivaMK brand on it, we already own it. It's not a debt. It belongs in our warehouse, and we own every last one of them. So I have another lofty goal for this year. I'm not going to give you the number because I'm trying to under-promise and over-deliver, and I don't want the staff to faint at the back when they find out what the number is. So we're going to keep increasing that. Because the great thing about having your own branded products is you can control the quality. You can constantly control the quality because the manufacturers are doing it for you. So you can be very, very specific about what you actually want. So that number will continue to grow. I didn't hit the target at the end of last year. We actually hit this target in the middle of January. So we're about 2 or 3 weeks behind target. But we got our 100 branded products, and that is going to continue to grow because it gives you control. Affordable bedding. Now, that's been one of the big success stories of this year. You know, we're all in this situation. The entire world is in this cost of living crisis at the moment. That's been one of our fastest selling line of products that we've had for a long, long time. So what we thought was, we'll give you a little catalogue. Why not put all the affordable stuff in its own publication? Because it sells. If something sells, promote it even more. So in the next few weeks, you will see information about an entire range of bedding and maybe some other products that are at that affordable price range. So people can actually buy things, because you know what happens when there is a recession or when there is a cost of living crisis? People stop buying things like bedding. People stop buying little luxury because suddenly bedding, which in a first world country should be normal purchases, becomes a luxury. And that's why, that's probably worked so well. And we have sold hundreds of units. You know, in the first 2 days, as you recall, we completely wiped the shelves clean. So you'll get that in its own publication. Then we come on to personalize. Again, one of our biggest success stories of the last couple of years. A department, and I remember a young gentleman, I wonder if he turned up this morning, Ken Rooney, saying to me years and years ago, I can't do his accent, I won't even try, but he said, years and years ago, he said, you should have an all year round personalized range. I wish I'd listened to him 6 years ago. Anyway, finally, 4 years later, it sunk in. And that's the key. A personalized range that sells day in, day out. And like I said, it's been one of our big success stories. Again, service matters so much. So we try and get these to you as quick as we possibly can. At the moment, most personalization companies, it's about 7 days. I'd like to think we can get most of yours to you within 48 hours. So, there is a new personalized catalog coming. We're just finishing it off. You'll have it in 2 or 3 weeks or so, and that's the front cover of it. So we've gone down we find that anything with a T-like cover seems to just sell so well. It's just got such a good price point. So that's the front cover. I've got a few images of some of the products. I think that's only in there because I can't say secateurs, or whatever they are. Small pliers. And you can put Kenneth's name up there. And we'll have them in a couple of colours. So you can have not gender neutral ones, we can male and female ones. So I'll be sure now, shall I? So these are secateurs. This is something, I don't know, it's a compact or a mirror or something. I should know my products. I think I just concentrated on the fact that it said Angela on it. So it's a compact, and it's, again, we find that products like that do sell very well. Our SKU sales are huge on products like this. We have a cactus growing kit. If anybody wants a little prickly present, you can always give them that with their name on it. And I say more about them than it is you, but we have a June photo, friends. You'll find that he's smoking on the out there. He was too busy to be here today, declined the offer. But even he's in on the new frame that you will get will be the new catalog. New pens, the pen ranges have done exceptionally well. Again, we sold hundreds and hundreds, and this is going to be a new pen that will be in the personalized range. New kinds of cups and sports bottles. All our cups and sports bottles do very, very well. So that's just personalized. Before the end of June, we have a further 4 catalogs, all in production as we speak today. There'll be a new play catalog. The biggie of the year is always outdoor and pets. It's a huge catalog. It's one of those catalogs that, as a seasonal publication, does very, very well, and that will have a stunning front cover as well. The new health and beauty coming your way, and a new you and yours. If you add the affordable bedding one, that's and the personalized, that's 6 publications within the next 5 to 6 months. So we've got a very busy time ahead. And I know some of you will always say, well, why are you sticking to the same catalogue? No, because I have tried that. The sales we get from individual catalogues always is greater than a single publication. I've got the figures to show it, so it always works. So 6 publications coming your way before half the year is done. And all of these have got stunning front covers. The front cover is so important in our industry. So, pioneers, do you remember them? I tend to forget about them sometimes, I do apologise. So, just for those of you who don't know, the pioneers in this organisation was a moniker given to the people that joined in the first 24 hours of when we opened the business. And if you remember that day, we crashed the system in 6 seconds because so many people wanted to join on that day. And I apologise that I haven't mentioned the pioneers enough, because in those pioneers, those people who joined in the first 24 hours are a group of people that have literally, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, helped to build the business. So many of them were instrumental in the ideas, in the planning, in the strategy, in the execution of what we have achieved today. So we wouldn't have the last 3 years of consistent growth had it not been those initial people. So I'd like to, I know it's going to be quite a number of you, bring the pioneers onto the stage to get the recognition you finally do deserve. Please come on stage if you're a pioneer that joined in the first 24 hours. It's a very important group shot. It's so important just to understand that people among you here has got us where we are today. I don't want to leave you guys out, but of course, this was just the first 24 hours, and it's so important just to recognize that. So let's try and get this into a group shot.
Michael.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for having clap there. That was very
Right. Do you want to look this way? Because this is a big, big picture. So everybody look this way. If you're at the back, stand tall.
Come on,
Are you ready? 1. Look like you enjoyed it. 2. There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, pioneers. Of having those people up here in the photograph, knowing that among them we have people that built us to where we are today, is far more powerful than you'll ever realize. We do have many more pioneers in the business, but no one cares about them because they're not here. So I want to do this every time from now that we have a showcase, because like I've said, it's one of those things that sometimes skips my mind, and it shouldn't, and I hold my hands up, but it's so important just to accept that we were in this together. Many of those people that are over here were the people in those early days that were pushing me and pushing me and pushing me to get things done. So I'd like to say it was that inspiration and that motivation and that support and that strategizing that helped. So thank you to all of you. It's very important, that is. Thank you. And we have an amazing set of people in this business. I'll talk about them in a minute, but let's just see the latest video from our beauty brand directors. You see, my point with this is, I've worked in the beauty industry before. I've worked some sizable organizations. Never have I seen people who just decide to come together and do things like that. I did a stint with L'Oreal. They didn't have people who just randomly decided to come together and do videos to promote the products. You see where I'm coming from? It doesn't happen. So if we have any beauty brand directors in the audience, please come and join me, because you deserve that recognition as well. Where are you? You must have some. I can see one here. You're going to get any this time. Because we also have the Sparkle team. In what world do people get together and advertise John Bowden's bog on Thank you, that's a great site. But it sells products. So if we have Sparkle team, come and join us on stage. Again, you might think it's the usual. It's not. You know, these people don't get paid to do that. They just want to promote the products. And does it work? Of course it does. It's always going to work more than not doing it. Of course it is. They're a success story within themselves for what they produce in videos, and even if it is John's toilet, great toilet by the way, it all works. But then we have the health ambassadors. Have we got health ambassadors in the room? Let's see who you are too. Please come and join us. Whether it's health, whether it's our beauty products, whether it's our cleaning products, have had an effect on what these people do. A significant effect. And like I said, you know, it's unique to us. I've never known that in any organization I've ever worked in, where people just decide they're going to promote the products in the way these people promote them. It's absolutely unique to us and our independence. So thank you to all of you, because every one of you had an effect. Thank you very much. Really is one of our also self-manufactured products, and this year we intend to grow that range. Not only going into more savoury foods, we're also going to try the big world of vitamins as well. So we've got a lot of exciting plans for it. The thing, problem, challenge, there's no problems. The challenge with health is you have to plan it so far ahead. So when something isn't available, it was planned months ago, but there's so many raw ingredients that have to take part. The manufacturers sometimes do struggle. So there's lots of things in the pipeline. They're already in the pipeline, and they will be happening this year. So we are going to try vitamins, and we are going to try some savoury foods. I'd like you to see a little short video, again created by one of the team here to do health products. So, the point is, we have some great people who do great things promoting our products. Health in particular has had a huge boost since we launched it, and I intend to grow that more and more and more as the months and years go by. It's just a foundation yet,